Well, thank you very much indeed, Stephen, and welcome back. If you've just joined us here on the channel, we're having a very critical discussion here today. You would know, of course, just a little over a week to go before the end of Women's Month, and tonight we're coming to you live from the Polokwane Correctional Center, and we're speaking to 6 women who've been convicted of serious crimes, including drug trafficking, murder, fraud, and robbery. They're speaking to us tonight to tell us their stories, the day that their lives had changed, and what assistance they've been getting from the Department of Correctional Services to change their lives around. Tonight, they're telling us their side of the story and where it went all wrong for them. In case you're wondering, as our viewers, some of the things that you're seeing here behind me, and we're going to show you now just some of what the inmates here are involved in. You can see some of the traditional beads that they have put together there, some traditional garments as well. I saw just behind me there are some dresses there as well, and some caps, quite beautifully made, I understand, by 2 of the ladies who are part of it, who are sitting here next to me. And that's just part of the process of how the Department of Correctional Services has put quite a number of programs in place to ensure that inside they're equipped with the necessary skills, possibly that they could use post-incarceration. Let me talk now about some of those. And there are individuals from the Department of Correctional Services who do some research and inform the kind of policy that is expected to center around the programs for rehabilitation within these correctional facilities. And joining me now is Zodwa Masoma, who is, of course, responsible for policy and coordination of female programs at national level. Mama Masoma, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I think it's quite important, listening to what the ladies have been saying tonight. At a national level, you, of course, do that research that informs policy. Talk to us a bit about that. How does that work?
Well, just to give a background, the main strategic document on rehabilitation that we have as correctional services is the white paper on corrections. This white paper on corrections actually acknowledges female offenders as special category. And what that means, it means that they've got unique and complex challenges. And some of those challenges, for example, they include trauma, victimization, and abuse. Female offenders tend to be victims of both sexual and physical abuse. And also when it comes to mental health issues, if you talk anxiety and depression as well as self-harm, you'll find that there's more prevalence on female offenders than their male counterparts. And then lastly, parenting. As we all know, females tend to take a primary role when it comes to parenting. Yes. Therefore, incarceration brings a lot of stress and anxieties to deal with this. So what that means then, it means our policies and programs needs to target specifically those vulnerabilities. We've got a number of programs. For example, we've got anger management programs. We've got a correctional program that deals specifically with female issues.
Parental stress.
Yes, exactly. It has got element of parenting, issues of relationships and domestic violence. And it also addresses generally issues of emotional well-being. So what we're actually saying is that our research or our policies and programs, they become irrelevant if they do not address those specific issues that affect women. Also, our policies, we actually craft them to be gender responsive as well, because the role that gender plays is actually very important for them to be able to be rehabilitated in our centers. And perhaps I can just mention one study that was done before the development of one program, which is actually a female program.
Yes.
In 2014, we conducted a research study in order to find out the actual challenges and needs of female offenders. We sampled about 360 female offenders in all of our correctional centers regionally. So some of the key findings actually pointed out to some of the crimes that are committed by our female offenders. And top of the list was economic crimes. But now what we've appreciated with concern, though, is that the dynamics have changed completely. Now, if we analyze the offense profile of our offenders, we realize that they are committing more of aggressive crimes. We actually heard now about the murders. that they are actually sentenced for. That actually now pushes us to explore this phenomenon even more. Hence, next week we're going to have a roundtable discussions with academia, implementers, policymakers, and other stakeholders, so that we can explore these issues, look at the risk factors. What is it that actually lead our female offenders to commit these crimes, particularly now that the trend is changing to be more aggressive?
All right. Member Soma, we'll come back to you just very shortly. I want to just bring the ladies in once again. Thank you very much. Tiribadi, murder was not your first conviction. You were also convicted for assault. And listening to what Memo Soma was talking about, where she says women now seem to be, involved in more aggressive crimes, I want to talk specifically about your conviction on murder. Did something just snap when you found out that your daughter had been sexually assaulted, and you led then with you the father of your child, dragging this perpetrator to the bush and using a hammer to kill him?
Come again?
Did something just snap when you heard the news of the assault, the sexual assault of your daughter? Did you just lose it?
Yeah. Keep put the story. Why? Manaka. Why moto o asabo? Maybe why asatamon na? Because manaka kana ko eona sampana lo munyane. She was 8 years. So inkirelo hore erinzerli to ona advice o mongore a police station a re ka mokho bo botle re bile le tlhalwang e one ya hore wa itsekeng ke khopela hore motho o re ka mokreya ro pay revenge. So no sina motho o na fa o mo advice e right bo botle ne re potso o patela, and then na a ke police station e ke mokreya mo ke mokreya go teng. It's either kore no sina tlhaloganyo e right, and then mara after his no irahala e re ntse re le busy re lwa le ena ho bile le tlhaloganyo e one e boang gore mara ntho e ke irang e wrong e re ke phonele at least ambulance e thuse motho o ke re le he ke boa ka ke re gore o setse a tlhokofetse. So after o tlhokofala ka ba le lutsola gore o tlhokofetse go tlhalosa eng go bolela eng, and sometimes ho le batho lina le tlhalwanyo e one a o sna o afang o mo tlhalwanya gore ntho re irang e wrong le tlano ba ntho e one mo le no sna o mo re e ntho re irang e right or e wrong, because le khoto ne ke sa khono tlhalosa nete ya gore o ira hetse byang. Maybe if ne ke khonne hore ke bolele nnete ya hore re irile bya molato or ke sina le tshugo la motho o ke rile molato ke na le ena nkebe ke staying nkebe something serahetse ke sa tsena mo ka ke sa ke ra molato o go grade ke sa ke ra mengwaga e ke grade
ke batla bo ka the impact that this has had. As a mother, you have a 17-year-old and a 9-year-old, is that correct? So the 9-year-old is obviously the little girl who'd been sexually assaulted. I mean, that pain and the fact that you are a mother, what impact has your incarceration had on your family from the perspective of you being a mother?
I don't understand.
Impact ya gore umotronkong unali bana unali 17 and 9 years old, so impact ya gore ukotronkong and bona they are staying outside, impact ya gore you cannot be with them even knowing gore you were trying to, what you say, pay revenge for your daughter, and what happened to your daughter?
E botlhoko because no a o itse re o irahalang a o itse re ntho e irahetseng e ka irahala hape na for bona, because ke sure gore Maga a ka se kgone ba protector go tshwana le nna motho ke mo shileng di bona
Ba dula le mang?
ba dula le mmaka
Okay.
le my younger sister.
Okay.
So batho bao bana le dilo tse bana le bana ba bona ba ba lebeletseng a ba lebella bana ba ka fela. So ho ya ka nna e botlhoko go robala first o tshwantse na hanore o jile na o irahalang ka yena o tlhapile na o ile sekolong na because before ka 2016 yena o antiste motorong na le problem ya go se sekolong ke krele e lorne e ke yona ne nkutlisa botlhoko o feditse ngwaga otlhe a sa sekolong ana le problem ya hore maga ke mmoditse dilo tse so a end up a le tronkong a ntlwetse ke le one so ne le bothata bo le hore ne bo le ka mohae
o na leng 8 years o na le
o antisteng ka the victim
oh
so ne rena le problem eo ya hore yena na sa khone focusa mo dilong tse dintsi mara ka hore hona le psychologist le ko ntle le eng ba ile ba mothusa a khone focusa hore a tshwantse a ye sekolong and then le nna re khone tlhakana di social worker tsa ka motoronkong le tsa ka montle re khone itse hore o irahalang ke khone itse hore o irahalang ka bophelo ba hae mara yona e botlhoko nahana o ira molato o le motswadi o shia bana it's not the right thing.
Sure. Tidibadi, we'll come back to you again. Tidibadi, just talking about the trauma of her being incarcerated. She has a 17-year-old and 19-year-old children, and she talks about the fact that she is unable to care for them, even though they are cared for outside. Obviously, she believes as a mother she would be able to take care of them in a much better way, and she goes back to the day when she committed that murder and saying that at the time only in her mind was that she wanted, I guess, to ensure that that person who had committed that crime would sexually assaulted her daughter, who was how old at the time? Was 8 at the time. Was 8 at the time. Pain would be inflicted on that person. She wanted to call an ambulance, but had noticed that the perpetrator was already dead. Manoko Majila, of course, the youngest of the inmates who are joining us here tonight, convicted for kidnapping a baby. Are you remorseful? Are you sorry for what happened?
Yes, I totally am. Yes. Kuri ke tsola hore why ke dirile nthoela. Kuri ke feletse ke tia ke kentsha ka ra maoto a msedula ke msenyeditseng hore ha nke e le nna meola ne ke tlo fila jwang ba nka mo hangwana. Yes, so ke tsola ka ntho ke dirileng.
Monoko says she's very sorry for what she did. She kidnapped a baby after having a miscarriage. She was afraid to tell her boyfriend about it and kidnapped a baby. She says she's very sorry for what she did. And she puts herself in the shoes of that woman who she snatched the baby from. And, you know, I have to ask you, Manoko, as an 18-year-old, you're at the prime of your teenage years. I'm sure you had dreams. I'm sure you had aspirations. But you're here now. What were those dreams?
My family wanted me to become a nurse, but na kanya ko an artisan. So last year I was in matric, then ka pasa ka diploma. So ka apply at the University of Venda. Unfortunately, asbanti because ke jule ka diploma. So at least ekile ka motronkong ka khona o botsena skolo no ke busy ke dira N1 electrical engineering, and then how can I forget book club funda mzansi ke party ngwe yona
O pata book club mo.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. Bongani, you did say you were lured to the nice life. The money was too enticing. and you ended up mixing with the wrong crowd, obviously. Would you have done anything different? You know, in society today, you look at many young girls, you look at women who I think I can confidently say who are enticed by money. There's the Instagram life, there's the Twitter life, everything is flashy. What would you change? And perhaps there's somebody who's watching out there who is enticed by a very similar life. What would you have changed about the first time that you peddled drugs?
The first time when I decided to do the crime, it was wrong, but I decided when I was sitting in my cell, deciding that what I did, it was very wrong. I couldn't even do it into other people the way I did it. So from the other people that are outside, what I would like to tell them that they have to live their life according to the way financially they have to manage their financially in a right manner. Because if you are looking into other people who are having a lot of money, who are famous, you will lead your life in danger because you want to reach in that goal they are. You don't know how they make their money, but you want to reach there. So it's very painful for us because we want to climb the steps without not knowing where are we stepping in. So I think they can change their road and do something better because there is a lot of businesses. If you can't do it with work, it's better than you can do it with your hand. As like we are doing the beating, we are doing the sewing, we are doing a lot of things, makeup and nail techniques. It's something that we do inside the prisons. That's what I decided, that when I go outside, I will put myself in that I will be working through that. Even the designing, I'm also the designer. I also decorate. So it's something that I can do for my life, not to put myself in danger.
Yeah. You were working at the airport at the time. You know, that is obviously a relatively okay job. And I mean, what would you have done differently? You know, I'm sure young people who are sitting and watching this program and are into the whole issue of flashy lifestyle. They call it the Instagram life, where everything is perfect and everybody seems to have money. What would you say to that young person as you sit and reflect on your life?
When I sit and reflect on my life, I can see that what I did was wrong. And from the other kids that are outside who are looking forward to be in the flashy light, as you have said, that the Instagram, I think it's better to focus on what you have. You start a business. It's simple. It's very simple to start your own business, not to focus in other people's life, because it's the wrong way to take the road. Because when you are taking a wrong road, that's where you're going to end up in prison. Yeah. And the prison life is not easy, as we are saying, that they can see us looking beautiful on the screen, yeah, but the prison life is not easy, to live your life inside.
Priska, prison life is not easy, Bongani says, and I do not think it is any easier for you, who have several other members of your family who were convicted together with you for murder. And this would include your father, your eldest brother, your youngest brother. I mean, what impact has this had on you? I mean, the community seemed to have been part of the mob justice that took place on that day. You were arrested and convicted with, I think, is that all of your family or just part of it? I mean, what impact has that had on you with almost 4 members of your family incarcerated?
To be honest, it's very, very difficult. Even now, I haven't accepted as if it is really, really happening. My officials, they know sometimes I just went to the office and started crying. I'll make up a story, maybe sometimes I tell them that I want to phone, there is something that is not okay with my kids, because my kids are staying with my sister from another mother. It's a trauma to me and to everyone, because at my father's place, there is no one who's staying at the moment. There is no one. We are all here in prison. It's not easy. I'm trying day by day to accept that, yes, this is reality. You are in prison, all of you. But then it's very difficult.
Hlengiwe, just before we come to you, Mayor, from the Department of Correctional Services, Hlengiwe, just very quickly, you were convicted, of course, for fraud. I mean, we often hear stories. It's not just your story, but also as well Ntabi Singh's story, where basically you had followed a boyfriend and got into trouble because of a boyfriend. I mean, you basically convicted for 5 years imprisonment, and that was earlier this year. You've just begun basically serving your sentence. I mean, what would you say? Do you have regrets for what you did? Because you'd opened up this bank account for this man, you saying not knowing that he was going to commit fraud.
It's frustrating to be here, and a message that I can send to other people is that you need to be very careful who you hang out with, especially as women. We end up falling for men easily. You need to find out first before you can put trust in somebody, especially into relationship, because I found myself into this situation because I just trusted this person and I thought what I was doing was going to help me. And another thing, I would like to encourage the youth to be content. As a person, you need to accept where you are. Do not long for more things because you will want quick cash. Because in my situation, fine, I was looking at the fact that, okay, my boyfriend will compensate me with something after giving him the documents. That was the agreement that he will give me something as well. So as youth out there, there's no shortcut in life. You need to work hard, and there's no easy way, because immediately if you are into quick life and you're into this flash life, you'll end up putting yourself into the situation.
All right, ladies, we'll continue our discussion and also come to you, Mambafedile Mukwena, who is a female unit supervisor. We'll be chatting to her, but we'll take a short break here on The Full View. We'll continue this discussion live here at the Polokwane Correctional Center when we get back.